Well, welcome back to UnpaidMovieCritics.com, the podcast that is taking over New Zealand by storm. I am Mike from MikeTheFanboy.com. I am joined by the one, the only, the woman who makes Celine Dion look like Alanis Morissette, the woman who says, that's what friends are for, the woman who says, I am Detroit, give me a Paczki, Miss the fixiliest fixel of all the fixels, Miss Becky Fixel.
And on that note, for people who don't know what Paczkis are, Michael, would you like to explain what arrived at your house on, was it Monday?
Yeah, and I've been eating them, and literally, I think I gained 12 pounds. But
that's my job.
My lovely friend Becky did, and it was an assortment box of Paczki. So for those of you in New Zealand, a Paczki is like a donut, but it's deep fried, not in oil. It's deep fried in lard. Is that correct?
I believe so, yes. And they're Polish.
And it's glorious, and they're Polish, which I'm actually Polish and Slovak. I'm Polish, Slovak, Ukrainian. I got a little something else in there too. Canadian, obviously, because you know it's now a nationality, and there's something else my dad said. Anyway, I'll just take that. But anyway,
I'll go with that.
I'm part of the whole Polish. That's what I'm saying right now. The Polish. We have a little bit of the Polish Paczkiness in it, and they're really only in Metro Detroit and some other really heavily Polish areas, because they're obviously, you know, a donut fried in lard is 17,000 times more calories than a traditional donut. And these, the one that Becky sent, are amazing because they are filled, like shoved full of stuff.
They're from Cops and Donuts.
Yeah, it is so good. And there was like two really good ones. There's one that had chocolate on top with a custard inside.
Those are my favorite.
And there's also one that had like a white cream, more like, it was almost like not a thick frosting, but like a non-thick frosting-y,
like a fluffy,
a fluffy whip. Like, oh my god, that was so good. And the strawberry and the raspberry were also really good. The lemon and the apple
were okay. Well, you know,
I mean, the lemon was good, but not, I wouldn't choose it, but it was, you know.
Well, next year, before I become Paczki Fairy, then I will get an order of what you and Scott need sent there. I sent them to you.
Paczki Fairy.
Is it something that comes up? I mean, it's for Fat Tuesday, which is March 1st. Right. So I know we're way ahead of the game, but they only send out so many a month. And the one in Clare, I think last year they were sending out 300 boxes a week. This year, their website, I opened up January 31st, and that's when I ordered them. They're sending 300 boxes a day.
Oh my goodness.
And they're sending them across the country. And I sent them to you, and I sent them to my friend Joyce, and they were sent the same day. She still hasn't received hers.
No.
Yeah, she's in Florida, and she's like, I need my Paczkis. And she's so sad, and she's actually on her way home. I'm hoping they're actually delivered today and not lost.
Because that could be stale.
Yeah, stale, or the fillings could go bad or something.
I mean, mine came really fast. And it's shocking because you're actually closer to Florida than you are California.
Right. And I think last year hers got lost and delayed too. So I don't know. And I don't know if they're like mine come from a place 40 minutes away because I order special gluten-free ones. Oh. And they come, and they're so weird because I got a bag of 4, and I just get the custard filled ones, and they come in a little container with the chocolate that you put on top of yourself.
Oh, that's nice.
Right. Except like there's so much chocolate in there for 4 little donuts.
Oh, yeah.
So I'm like, all right, I don't know. I'm going to have extra frosting for later, but it's, you know, it's one time a year.
It is. And I really appreciate it. It was really fun. Like, we were eating one a day and we were cutting it in half. And then I was trying to. Yeah. And I was like, I want that one. And then he's like, Becky sent them for both of us. I'm like, no, she didn't. Your name was not on the package. Your name was not on the package. And then we get into it. But I may have sneaked the custard one just for myself.
Well, he doesn't need to know that. Except he is subscribed on YouTube, so he might find out. So he might.
Yeah. So it was really nice though. We had dessert. And I mean, like, oh my Lord, my pants are. And then Scott comes home with the mini chocolate cake yesterday, and I'm like, Like we need more dessert.
All the punchkis are gone, so we buy chocolate cake.
I know. I was like, what are you doing? I understand it's Valentine's and
It
it's
is
all
Valentine's, especially this weekend. I mean, this will come out after Valentine's Day, but we're doing absolutely nothing for Valentine's Day. I don't know about you guys, but we haven't eaten in restaurants with all the ooey gooey people for years anyhow. So I might order dinner delivered. That's about it.
I think we're going to Chili's. Got that 3 for $10.99. We're very excited. It's really good. We got a gift card.
We're gonna order Thai food.
We're living the high life over here in Southern California. We go to Chili's.
In the nice warm weather where you're not in the middle of snowstorms.
It's so warm. It's like short weather. It's like ridiculous. Like it's not. I mean, I was debating about turning the air on today.
Okay, so on that note, I went out the other day to get packages for my business address, and it was 40 degrees. I was so hot. I had to open the windows in the car because I was dying because we just had a snowstorm right before that. And I mean, it snowed last night and it's been raining all day, but 40 degrees. My body's like, hey, it's spring. We're good. 40.
Right.
40. Cool.
Pretty cool. Awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So have you seen any movies this week?
Actually, so I prepped. I'm completely caught up on 2 shows.
Which
Euphoria.
haven't seen it yet.
Oh.
I know.
So, penis. Lots of penis.
Okay, good to know. If I need penis, that's a good show to watch.
Some really nice, some not so much. And then I was watching because I know you enjoyed it so much, Pam and Tommy.
Okay.
Speaking of the penis.
Speaking of, okay. So what did you think of Pam and Tommy?
I think it's amazing. I really enjoy it. I'm a little torn because
Okay.
I'm actually really, really enjoying it. I think that the Sebastian Stan is great. Lily James is great. Seth Rogen, shockingly, is really good.
Right. Everybody in it. It's a really well done show.
Yeah, and the only problem I'm having right now with it is the fact that Pamela Anderson didn't authorize it.
Yes.
And it's really going into a very personal part of her life, and the whole show is about how she was victimized. And I'm like, the show is kind of doing the same thing that they did with the sex tape, and I feel really awkward about it. And I feel awkward about liking it, and I feel awkward about it being so well done, and actually it being there's a lot of depth to it, and that bothers me.
And I think that's part of the point of it. Like I saw it obviously before she made her statement that she didn't authorize it and all of that. But what the show ends up doing is it gives us, like I said last time, that we had, because of the time and age, we only saw, heard about it. We didn't know all the ins and outs. This gives us the ins and outs, literally. But it gives us a better perspective. And through today's eyes, we see how she was victimized. Because at the time, it was a lot of slut shaming and she shouldn't have done the tape. And It was blaming her for everything.
Right.
So
and he got off scot-free because he's like, look how big your dick is. Right.
The talking penis, yes.
That was odd.
It was very odd.
I was like, it looks a little too real. A little too real. But yeah, I mean, the fact that, the whole thing happened without her consent, and then this show is happening without her consent, I kind of just was like, I'm not sure how I feel.
Right. And that's the hard part with it, because I know her complaints and stuff came out after my review was up, I believe, or at least written. And, you think they would have at least reached out or said something.
They did reach out.
Oh, did they?
They reached out several times to her. I know the girl playing Pamela Anderson reached out. The producers reached out several times. But then the way they got around it was they based it off of an article in Rolling Stone about the sex tape.
Okay.
What happened. And that's how they got around the whole thing. Still, though, I do feel like at a certain point, and this is the same thing Olivia Havilland had, sued Ryan Murphy about for Feud. Braylon Feud, because it was incorrect. And you're making it seem like this was me, but that's not what happened.
Right.
And so she sued them and lost.
Because it's you're a public figure and everything else, they kind of can take that license and say, because they do say it was loosely based or something like that.
Yeah.
So yeah, I understand being conflicted with it, because one, as a woman, if something happens to me, it's somehow always my fault.
Right.
So, and in this case, I mean, it is putting her in a better light, but she doesn't want anything brought to it. She doesn't want that attention. So yeah, it's weird, but it is a damn good show.
I know you caught up completely.
Oh, I watched the whole thing in one day.
Okay, so they gave you had a screener of the whole
Yeah, I
show.
had advanced screeners. Yeah.
How many episodes were there?
8.
I think we're on 5 now.
Yeah.
I didn't get an advanced screener because I'm not cool.
Yeah, all week I've been watching screeners, and I watched one this morning, which was a foreign film, and I don't know why I keep accepting them, because it's never what I expect. I need to stop doing that, but it's been that and documentaries, because we're in that kind of dead time still. And then I have new series. There's Life and Beth, the new Amy Schumer show coming to Hulu. I know she's not everybody's favorite, and I put it on thinking it was going to be a comedy. It was not. They're billing it as a comedy. It is not a comedy. But I enjoyed the show.
Really? I don't like her.
I don't mind her.
I liked Trainwreck, but I think I liked Trainwreck for everything around her, not her.
Yeah.
Tilda Swinton in that movie is amazing. Like, Tilda Swinton. I love Tilda Swinton.
Yeah, she's amazing in almost everything.
But the way she was awesome. I liked it in spite of her. And then the movie she did, Snatched, with Goldie Hawn, I liked it because Goldie Hawn was great. I didn't care about her, and then it got ridiculous, like where they're pulling the tapeworm out by hand.
Right.
Tapeworms work. And I mean, like, come on now. Like, there's certain licenses, but then there's certain, like, this is just lunacy. Like, just don't be dumb.
I think the show too, it's going to have a very specific like audience of people who like it, and it was good, but it is not like a comedy. Not even a dark comedy.
Oh, really?
I think they haven't misbilled. I don't know. It's like she goes back home. Her mom ends up dying, and then she's trying to re-find herself, and ends up dating a guy they portray as an introvert, but he's very much showing like autistic signs. And it's very weird. So I don't know. That one, and then they have The Dropout, which is about the Theranos thing.
Oh, I think I've heard of it.
With Amanda Seyfried. She's playing Elizabeth, is it Hughes, or whoever the girl who made the fake medical device was, and stole all those billions of dollars. So that one's relatively interesting, but it's a little, what you're getting into. So
yeah, I mean, it is interesting, these shows that keep coming out. It doesn't feel like they're promoting them. They just throw them online, and then I'm like, hey, here it is. Bah.
Right. And you know what? I looked when I was looking for the screeners that I get emails that they're put there. There was one in there for a show called I can't even remember the name, and I just mentioned it to a friend. It was a documentary, a true crime one, about a guy who killed his roommate while he was sleepwalking. And I was like, oh, when's that coming out? Oh, that's already out. Oh, I didn't get any alerts about that. Okay.
Yeah, it's really interesting how the streaming services are doing their content.
Right.
And then it's funny because we have a lot. We have Peacock, Paramount Plus, Hulu, Disney Plus, HBO Max, and Netflix. Isn't that a lot? That's 6 services and cable.
And Amazon. What's coming out next week on Amazon? Do you know?
Is it Miss Maisel?
Mm-hmm.
Hey, I'm so excited. I love Miss Maisel. Is one of my favorite shows. And Rachel is the nicest human ever. I adore her, and I adore the show. It's one of those shows. It's kind of funny. It could have gone so wrong.
Oh, it could have, but it went so well.
Still can. Because Amy Sherman Palladino, the one thing I don't like about her writing is everyone talks the same.
Yeah.
No, I mean, Gilmore Girls, everyone talks the same. And in a reality, no one you're going to have your own cadence. Everyone in town isn't going to have this rapid fire, like, kind of dialogue. And I do have an issue with that.
Yeah.
That's my interpretation. It's like, they even said that her scripts have to be 15 pages more longer than a traditional script because
of how fast they talk.
How they talk.
Wow, that's crazy. Now I think I was on TikTok and I got an ad for it. It said it was coming on the 18th, and I was like, ooh, yay! Because I mean, we're catching up on older shows, but we've never watched, like, the new Boba Fett show came on Disney Plus. We didn't watch it. Yeah. We've just finished the second season of Raising Dion on Netflix.
I've seen that one. Yeah.
Little boy who has superpowers. It's actually a really good show, but you got to be in the mood for a little kid with superpowers and bad guys and all that stuff. So, between that and my screeners, at the end of the day, just go back to YouTube and watch something else.
Yeah, I just finished Hawkeye, which I really liked.
Good.
I really enjoyed it. I have not watched
Winter Soldier.
I saw Winter Soldier. I think I'm caught up on the Marvel ones.
I think so. I think that was your last one you had to do.
Yeah, I really enjoyed Hawkeye. Hawkeye was my second favorite one after WandaVision. I don't think it was top WandaVision, but
it was all fluffy, kind of Family Guy type.
Yeah, but I enjoyed it.
It's good, but
Florence Pugh was really fun. It definitely, I think, helped saying goodbye to Black Widow as a character.
Yeah,
and they needed that because in Endgame it felt very she died.
Yeah. And just move on.
I get it. Like, they had a moment, they tried, but you're trying to save the world, and you know what I mean? Like, what are you gonna do? And then Tony Stark dies, and then that his his moment. So it's really tough to balance both. It's like overshadowed. So this, I think, actually really did help. And then she did have her own movie coming out.
Yeah.
Didn't do anything to say goodbye to the character.
No, they put it back in time to give her a backstory and to add. It was really a movie to bring new characters into the franchise. It was nothing about her.
Yeah, it was to bring Florence Pugh in.
Yeah, which, I mean, I like her. So don't get me wrong.
Yeah.
And that started out the darkest, like the opening scene of Black Widow, where they're, the opening credits where they're putting the kids in the vans and taking them.
Oh, yeah. Oh
my God, that's taking Marvel to a different land.
Right. It was good. I mean, I enjoyed Black Widow was one of those movies where you have to completely suspend disbelief, and not just completely. I mean, literally, there is no reality in this thing. When a woman who weighs probably 12 pounds is flying from the sky from a floating spaceship land thing covered by clouds that, no one can fly in this area, but they can't sense it with all of the fucking satellites we have. I mean, like, okay. And then she flies out of it, the exploding thing in the sky, and she's landing on pieces and running through the sky. I'm like, she's just a woman. Like,
watch that sentence.
Well, you know what I'm saying? She's just a human being. She's not I mean, it would be the same thing. If it was me, I would say the same thing. He's just a Canadian dude. Like, he doesn't have jacked up superpowers. Like, you can forgive Captain America, and you can forgive Hulk, and you can say, okay, Thor, he is a god. And she's just a human. If it was Hawkeye, I would say the same damn thing. I'm like, come on, dude.
Well, half the stuff that Hawkeye does, you're like,
how are you getting up from that?
Yeah.
How are you getting up from that, dude? You just did a roll. You just popped your shoulder on a place. Like, I can bend and I throw my back out from hockey injuries, let alone.
Once you cross 30, that's what happens. But
whatever.
Whatever. So
with Valentine's Day coming up.
Yes, sir.
I'm actually curious, what are some of your favorite romantic comedies that you just really like that would really be really good for the season?
Making me think. So, okay, I'm gonna go super cheesy.
I think that with an accent. You're making me think.
You're making me think.
Making me think.
Yeah, I hide the Michigan accent usually. Let's see. I mean, normally if I'm pulling up, I'll pull up some of the cheesy princess movies or whatever, but I still love like 10 Things I Hate About You.
Such a good movie.
It's such a good movie. And I know it's just The Taming of the Shrew, but I still love it.
You know what? So Clueless was just Emma.
Emma, I know.
I mean, it was just Emma. Clueless is one of, again, a romantic comedy. That's one of the best movies. I mean,
right.
Alicia Silverstone is perfect.
And that's where we all fell in love with Paul Rudd.
Not me, but yeah.
I mean, I did, but I was like, I don't want to say, like, I was like 14 when the movie came out.
Okay.
Something like that. Something. Maybe a little. I don't know. What year did that come out? You know better than me.
I would say 92. I think it was 92, 93.
Oh, then I was 10. So.
Or 95. Was it 95? It may be 95. Well, I mean, it's kind of hard when you're differentiating between a year there, but I do remember.
Clueless, 95. Yeah.
Oh, there you go.
There you go. Yeah, that one's on the list too. I love those stupid cheesy movies, but I don't watch them often.
A really good romantic comedy or a really good comedy is overlooked. And it's funny because you say, oh, you make a justification for liking it, and they're stupid little movies. They're not stupid little movies.
Oh, they are, but they're still entertaining.
I disagree. I think they're actually more powerful in the overall lexicon of film than something like Belfast. And I say this because it's really, really interesting. It's really easy to make people sad. Yes. It's really easy to depress people, but to make them happy is extremely difficult.
Yeah.
And there are very few, and it's like a pop song, right? You can hear a song and everyone dismisses it. Oh, it's just Toxic, or oh, it's just Kylie Minogue, or oh, it's just these fluffy candy songs. But if it makes you feel happy for a few minutes, it's doing its job, and that's harder. It's harder than depressing people. So I don't think you should ever discount something like that, because if when I watch Illegally Blonde, which one of my movies, because when I dress up like a frigid bitch, I try not to look so constipated. Constantly will quote it.
I love that movie too.
But you know what I mean? Like it's like, you can make yourself happy, and when you're feeling down, when I'm feeling down, it's like there are a few movies I put on, one including Legally Blonde, and it puts me in a better mood. It's really hard to stay in a bad mood when you're watching these movies that you love so much, because they're pop and they're fun and they're this and they're that and they're fun, and if it can bring you out, even just to level you up into a better place, that's real power of cinema or music or art. And so I hate when people discount those movies, because that's hard. That is the hardest thing in any artistic form, is to make someone feel better. So don't do that.
Okay, well, on that note, there is a cheesy, fluffy movie coming to theaters this weekend for Valentine's Day.
Is it called Marry Me? And please tell me it's not.
It is, and it was actually, I hate to say, I actually enjoyed it. No. I was smiling goofily at the end. And I was like, nothing about this movie should work. Nothing. I'm not a fan of Jennifer Lopez, and her and Owen Wilson together make no sense at all. Oh. But it was a lighthearted, fluffy movie, and it made you smile. And I was like, this shouldn't work, but it really does.
Really?
Yeah. And I don't usually, I mean, granted, we don't get a lot of these fluffy release movies lately, especially the last couple of years. It seems we've had a lot of dark and crappy movies lately.
Right.
So maybe it was that. Maybe it's because I've been watching a lot of documentaries and crappy foreign films. Maybe that. But it was, I'm not a fan of hers. I like him, but I don't think he can shoot as high as these women that the movies give him all the time. I actually enjoyed the stinking movie.
I probably will not be watching it. I like Jennifer Lopez, Jada the Low, Jennifer the Block. I just don't like Owen Wilson. I think he's like, hey, Owen Wilson.
Yeah, and there's one scene he actually says now, and it sounds like that meme that goes around of him going, wow. And I was like, okay, I shouldn't laugh at that, but and there's some things, I mean, if we're suspending belief in some of this other stuff, And it will, I mean, it's going to be on Peacock, I think it is. So you don't have to go to the theater for it.
Right.
But it was actually a cute, fluffy show. And I was like, because I even said, I think I posted the pictures of the stuff and I sent it to a couple of friends. I'm like, what's that from? And I'm like, it's for this movie that I've got to watch. And I don't know, I don't want to watch it. And I was like, all right, it's like pulling the Band-Aid off. Let's get it done. And then afterwards, I'm like, damn it, I liked it.
All right.
So I don't know. That's really freaking weird. That one was actually enjoyable, but
All right.
maybe we need the fluff right now.
Well, maybe that's what it is too. Maybe it's like, oh, good. It's not something I have to think about. It's also Oscar season, so all those movies are coming out. And we can get into those in 2 seconds. I just think we should rattle off a few titles that you can think of, like of those romantic comedies or those comedies that would be really good for Valentine's Day. I'll name some of my Legally Blonde, The Pretty Woman, The Proposal.
Okay. Did we just watch Pretty Woman? What did we just watch?
2 Weeks Notice is also really good with Sandra Bullock and Hugh Grant. Really enjoyed that one. And I'm gonna obviously skip a bunch, because I'm just off the cuff. But those movies, it's like they're fun, and Practical Magic we just watched.
Oh, I love that movie so much. There was, oh crap, what was one? There's one, and it's another stupid one with Rebel Wilson.
Oh, that Isn't It Romantic?
Yeah.
People really like the movie.
It was stupid, but it was enjoyable.
Yeah.
So,
like Julia Roberts had a lot of really good. Mystic Pizza is also a really cool. I really like that movie, and it was kind of like still one of those movies people don't know. Very under the radar movie, but definitely want to check out. Serial Mom is also really fun.
See, I would skip that one, but I'm trying to think. One of them that's really popular in our house, Sabrina.
With Harrison Ford?
Yeah.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah, it's one of Jason's favorites.
I wouldn't have picked that, but okay.
Yeah.
Working Girl, I would actually put ahead of that because I enjoy Working Girl. It's
okay.
Sigourney Weaver can literally do no wrong. Heartbreaker, she was even great in. You know what I mean? Like, that woman is one of the best actresses working today.
Another one I made him watch, and it's Anna Kendrick, Mr. Right.
Okay.
Have you seen that one where she falls in love with a hitman?
No, I haven't seen it.
It's one of those random weird ass ones I watched on an airplane, and it's freaking hilarious, and I love it. But on that same note, another one that we watch, actually probably more than we probably should, The Spy Who Dumped Me.
Again, not another favorite of mine, but
no, but they're still entertaining.
There's still something there. My Best Friend's Wedding. I love it.
That one's good.
Julia Roberts had a really good little string there.
She did.
A second of those like really fun. I've got really big, beautiful hair kind of movies that
she does have big, beautiful hair.
And Sandra Bullock too. She had her run too of romantic comedies that really worked.
Right.
Those two I think are one of the reasons people like them so much are because of that.
Right.
Reese Witherspoon too. She tried. Just Like Heaven is still fun.
Sweet Home Alabama.
Sweet Home Alabama. Oh my God, I love Sweet Home Alabama.
I do too.
Going on 30, going from Just Like Heaven to Jen Garner.
Right.
I love 13 going on 30. So these are the fun little movies though. You cannot watch, I think, any of those movies without being put in a better mood.
Right.
So, that to me is just kind of cool, especially being in the world we're living in right now. And you
need a little fluff.
Dark as F, and it's nice. It's nice to really put that on and just in the background even.
Right.
And have like watching Jennifer Garner dance to Thriller. You cannot be in a bad mood. It is literally impossible to be in a bad mood watching her go.
Now, at the same time, I'm guessing you're probably not the one to put on like the princess movies, like Ever After and all of those.
I like Ever After. I think I haven't watched it in a little while, but Drew is great in it.
I love that movie.
We watched that not too long ago.
I like the Princess Diaries. I like
I'm not going there.
I know. I like those.
I'll give you Devil Wears Prada as one of my
Okay.
favorites, but I'm not going anywhere else.
I do like that one too.
Married to the Mob is also one to mention that probably people wouldn't notice, with Michelle Pfeiffer, Matthew Modine. It's such a cute movie, and Michelle Pfeiffer's so good in it. It's really cute, and I think a lot of people missed it and still do. Like it's really really fun. There was also oh my gosh, it's on the tip of my tongue and I'm looking at it. Poop. Scream 3. No, just kidding.
No. Well,
But, it is
another good one.
Yeah.
I don't know if you've seen it or not. Crazy Rich Asians.
I enjoyed it. It wouldn't be, to me, that wouldn't be in the level of movies we've talked about, but it was fine.
I think it's a very good movie.
I enjoyed it, but it wasn't, to me, it's not one I would ever need to watch again.
Oh, really?
And it didn't really evoke what those other movies evoked for me. Now, I did watch it on a plane.
Okay,
so
that could be part of it.
But I love Michelle Yeoh. She's such a great actress. And she killed it on Star Trek Discovery. If you haven't watched it and you're a Star Trek fan, she killed it.
The Star Trek fans in the other room.
I understand. No, but she was so good on Discovery. It was actually like, wow, I was really impressed with how she balanced her character and what they did with it. And hopefully she's supposed to get a spinoff, so we'll see.
Oh, good.
But so going on a totally different tangent, we kind of talked about a little bit. What did you think of the Oscar nominations that came out before we go?
So a lot of them kind of matched up with what our group had put out. And I saw the similar backlash that, obviously Lady Gaga didn't get any nods, which pissed off the public because everybody thinks she deserves everything.
It pissed off Gaga's fans.
Yeah, okay. Because I think
I love Gaga, trust me. I have.
She did well, but I don't think award well. So, I don't know that I agree with that Dune and Power of the Dog deserve as much as they've been nominated for. Those ones to me were just kind of bleh. I
didn't watch Power of the Dog. So
you did or didn't?
I did not, and I haven't seen Dune yet either, so I can't fall in. It would shock me that Dennis, I don't know, I say Dennis, but I think he's French. Denis, I don't know how you say it. The director, who is awesome. Arrival is still one of the best hardcore sci-fi films. He did a great job with Blade Runner. He did get nominated for Best Director.
Yeah.
Right? That was a huge snub, I thought.
Yeah, I think some of the categories, like, there's always going to be the people that want to see more of the superhero ones nominated and all of that. But we're also still, and it seems weird because theaters were open for at least half of the year, that we don't have better nominees and better movies this past year.
Yeah, this year was crap, to be frank.
It was, but the year before was crap too. So, some of the nominees I agree with, like some of the best actors and best actresses,
Best actress field. Let's just go category by category now. Let's start with best actress because that's the most exciting for me.
Let me find my list.
Yeah, just pull it up because I don't feel like it. There's some amazing actresses and amazing performances by actresses this year.
Absolutely.
And I think it was kind of unfair to only have 5. I really do. Jessica Chastain to me was the best.
Yes.
I thought she was so good. She typically was very tough transformation because she's not at all like Tammy Faye Baker.
No, she looked fake-ish at the end, but so does Tammy Faye Baker. So
right. But she nailed it. Like
it was a good movie.
Well, and Andrew Garfield should have been in there for Best Supporting Actor for that movie as well. That movie was really good, and I don't think people gave it the love it needed.
Right.
It was too bad because I really enjoyed the Eyes of Tammy Faye. Nicole Kimmel was also really good. People keep saying how miscast she was and how they didn't like it and this and that.
I actually enjoyed it.
I thought she was good. I think she's always good.
I think people are having a hard time reconciling the image of Lucy off stage with the one that we're so used to on camera. And I think because she wasn't portraying the camera version that we all grew up with.
Right.
Or like, well, that's not Lucy. Well, no, that was Lucy. That's just
it wasn't on.
Right. It's not the version you're used to that we grew up with.
Right.
So
great. And I think she does definitely deserve the nomination.
Yes.
The other one, Penelope Cruz, I did not see. But
I was not a fan at one point. Parallel Mothers. It was about 45 minutes to the end. I was like, this could, all right, this is where it ends, and then it just kept going and
Yeah.
going and going and going.
And then who was
So,
the other besides Kristen Stewart? Who was the other one?
Olivia Colman for The Lost Daughter.
Yeah, I will not. I had screenings. I would not go to Lost Daughter.
No, I didn't want to see that one either. And actually, and I think I mentioned this to you, we took lunch on screening days during that one. We went and got Panera, and we're like, oh, we're just gonna sneak in and sit at because the chairs in the back of the theater have trays. So we're like, we'll eat the lunch, finish the movie, no big deal. And walked into a very awkward sex scene. And we're like, and we're going back out in the hallway. It's like, and I understand in context, it probably would have made sense.
Right.
But we walked in at the absolute worst time. And I was like,
excuse me.
Bless you. And I was like, yeah, not going to happen. I don't want to see it. And I mean, they sent us the FYC stuff, and I have a copy of it. I just don't want to watch it.
And Kristen Stewart was actually interesting. Scott was all excited about it. And
I saw his post.
I'm so torn. I don't think she was bad. I don't think she deserved the accolades that she's getting. I don't know if she deserved the nomination. I'm over Jennifer Hudson, in respect, who did a great job.
That movie was that one wasn't put up for anything, was it?
No, it was nominated for the SAG, but it wasn't for Oscar. I just wonder. I'm just sitting here going, well, she was. I don't know. I don't know. The movie Spencer was tedious. It was boring. It was weird. The score was so odd. Like they were trying to invoke like this tension the whole time, and like I'm like, you're talking to a cook. Like, right. What are you trying to put me on edge for? I'm like, you're like, oh no. It was like this weird score, and it was really juxtaposed to the film.
Do you think they were trying to?
I don't know.
I mean, we don't know what actually happened, and we never will, because we're never going to be on the inside of the royal circle.
Well, that wasn't a true story.
Okay.
It was this might have happened. It was not even based in reality. I mean, like, I'm sure some was based.
Some, but not enough.
But not enough. And I mean, like, and they made it feel like she's having a nervous breakdown the entire time, and she's so frail and weak. I'm like, well, I don't think that was always Princess Diana. I'm sure at some point.
Right.
In the reality, she went back to spend Christmas with them for, I think, up until she got, killed, to spend time with the kids. She was always there.
They were just playing on like the people that are obsessed, like the royalists that are just obsessed with that, watching it. They were trying to find that audience.
I don't know. I don't know. I just thought there was a lot of things wrong with that movie.
Because I'm kind of curious, following that one and with everything going on, like currently, like, have you guys watched The Crown at all?
I watched the first season.
Okay. So where the last season let off was she's already married to Charles. So this next season is going to go into her death to current day, which could get very messy because, I mean, these people are real people anyhow.
Mm-hmm.
So if they're telling the true stories and things that happened, especially right now with everything going on, one prince has got legal battles, the other one's got COVID and visiting his mother who's 95, and there's a lot. I was like, you guys, this is, I don't know, it's dancing a little too close. So
yeah, I don't know. I don't know if she deserved it. I don't know. But then we'll go to Best Actor.
And Best Actor, we have Ciarán Hinds in Belfast.
No, that's supporting.
Oh shoot! Scrolling up, Javier Bardem.
Which I again.
He doesn't look like Ricky, but
I think he missed something in that role because when you watched, he was very suave and very fit. He was just and Javier Bardem isn't that.
I really wish that was like Oscar Isaac in that role, because that visually I could have seen a little better. And he does a lot of different roles and ranges. So I think, honestly, to me, that would have been a better casting.
Way better.
But,
I didn't think he didn't do bad, but I didn't feel the emotional roller coaster like I did in Nicole Kidman's performance.
Right.
I think the nomination for him is the win, to be frank. Like getting nominated is the win. But you know.
And then Benedict Cumberbatch in The Power of the Dog, which you haven't seen or have?
I haven't seen. I just keep hearing how boring it is. I just see it. I like half the cast.
Yeah.
So.
I think the problem I had is it was supposed to be like a psychological thriller, and it was a very slow movie, and it basically he was mentally torturing her, Kristen Dunst's character.
Yeah.
And there's some really awkward scenes, and I was not a fan of the movie. And I know a lot of people really loved it, and that's probably why it's gotten nominated 12 times.
Yeah.
But it's just, to me.
Yeah. And Will Smith, I mean,
the movie was good.
Performance. I didn't see King Richard yet either. Sorry.
My thing with that one is the little girls that played Venus and Serena outshined him. And I mean, I know Will Smith wants an Oscar sometime in his life.
He's the Hillary Clinton of Oscar nominees. He's desperate.
Who was the lady from Oh My Children? Susan Lucci. He's the Susan Lucci because always nominated, never gets it.
He wasn't even, I don't think this is his first nomination, isn't it?
No, he's been nominated several times, I think, or snubbed several times. I'm not sure.
Like, I know he was really mad he didn't get it for Concussion.
Yeah.
He tweeted, like, I don't know.
That and The Pursuit of Happiness and a couple others. But then there's Andrew Garfield in Tick, Tick, Boom, which have you watched that one?
I gotta say, Andrew Garfield had a really good year. Because I don't think he was great.
Yep.
This movie keeps getting accolade after accolade.
Have you watched it?
Spider-Man, he did such a great job in. So I think he could be one of those underdogs to kind of jump in and swoop in because he just had a year in.
Because I have to say, if like of the list for Best Actor, honestly, he deserves it because Tick, Tick, Boom is amazing.
I think he could be the underdog.
Yeah.
I think he had a great year. And he had two to three great performances. And he was in one of the biggest movies of the year.
Right.
Great supporting role. But,
he did very well in choosing his projects.
Yeah, he really did.
The last one is Denzel Washington in The Tragedy of Macbeth.
I did not see that, so I don't know. But Denzel.
He does well, and it's Denzel, but it's kind of that every actor ends up playing or doing Macbeth at some point.
Yeah.
And it basically was black and white version of a stage play. It was good, but it was Macbeth.
I would have rather Peter Dinklage would have got in, or some other new would have gotten the new blood. I hear it was really good. I know you saw it and you liked it.
It is so good.
You get a screener of it because it was nominated for SAG.
No, it was nominated though on here for something. What was Cyrano for? Cyrano was for best costume design, which that's fair.
Yeah.
But
I'm sure, I think that the race will kind of come down to Benedict, Will, and Andrew.
Yeah.
I think Andrew could get in because
I hope he does.
Everyone keeps saying Will Smith, and then I think this category could be the one where it's like, nope.
Yeah. And like I said, the little girls, I mean, he did well in the role. Granted, he was trying to portray somebody who was unlikable and still relatively has been whenever he makes public appearances into somebody likable. But those little girls were so damn good.
Right.
And they stole the show. And then granted, the story is about them.
Yeah.
So, yeah. And I know a bunch of other people are upset that like Encanto's not getting, the songs they want, but they weren't the ones that were submitted. So that's
when you say, yeah, they didn't submit Bruno, which now in retrospect was a huge mistake.
Oh my God, right? Which that one and then this Louisa's song gets stuck in my head all the freaking time.
We don't talk about Bruno. No.
Right.
No. I mean,
what else is there?
The supporting actress, which we have Judy Dench got in surprisingly for Belfast. That was interesting that she got the nomination over Katrina Balfe.
Which, have you seen Belfast? Did you watch that?
No.
No, okay. Just the ending, like they focus in on her, and I'm looking at that picture, the signed picture from her. It's like right there. But just at the very end, they focus in on her just talking and this really weird cropped in thing on her face, which was odd. But there were some visual things in that movie. Like, it's a black and white movie, but then they played with color when it comes to fire and light, and they had like flames and stuff. And that was very visually compelling. But yeah.
And the Academy loves Judy Dench. No matter what they're doing with how they're changing the voting structure, they're still an older voting body.
Yeah.
She's a legend.
Yeah. They went for names that they're like, yep, know this one.
Yeah. I know Judy Dench, and I know how great she is. You're not going to go wrong.
Right.
And that's the interesting thing. She kind of swooped in and took Katrina Balfe's thunder.
But I don't think it's not owed to her. So, it's not like she didn't do a good performance. So
right.
It's one of those, okay, yeah, I'm okay with that.
From there,
some of the other ones, we have Kirsten Dunst in Power of the Dog. It's Anjanae Ellis in King Richard, one of the little girls.
I believe so.
Yeah, I think she's one of the little girls. And then Ariana Bois in West Side Story.
Oh.
So
now she was great.
I
hated the movie.
In West Side Story?
It was so boring.
Thank you. Because honestly, I'm like, yep. I'm not a fan. And I know some people have gone back and watched it and they're like, oh yeah, it's so good. Oh wait, no. Anjanae Ellis played his wife, I believe. But West Side Story, if you're going to remake it and change it. Don't just redo the same thing with higher quality film.
Yeah, it was really strange.
And make it longer.
Yeah, it just felt like I was watching a movie void of passion. Mm-hmm. And I don't know why it was. It felt technically perfect. It's Spielberg. How can you go wrong?
Right. And I think the problem is that movie, they tried to make it for theater lovers because theater lovers aren't going to see Broadway shows right now. Granted, it's been in works well before COVID hit the scene.
Right.
But they didn't calculate that theater lovers aren't going to movie theaters either. So they're not going to go and see this movie, which is still in theaters, because nobody's rushing when COVID numbers are so freaking high. Nobody's going to rush to see the movie. We know what happens. We've seen the movie and you didn't change it enough.
Yeah, it felt like it was just a remake to remake it. It didn't feel like there was a remake for a reason.
Right.
And that's, I think, the idea. It's just like, oh, Rita Moreno, always great, in that role. And so was fine. Everyone was fine,
Which I think the nomination there, hold on. Ariana Bois is the one that plays her role. And they're saying, it's this weird, it's happened a few times that the same role has been up for the nomination. So if she gets it and Rita Moreno got it, it's one of those rare times in history. And I know Rita Moreno was one of the first Latinas to ever win an award.
Yeah.
If not the first. So
when I think this is Kirsten Dunst's to lose.
Yeah.
And I hear her role is more lead than it is supporting, which I think is kind of interesting.
It really is. And she does her role well and in more range than I'm used to seeing in her. So that says something. But again, I didn't like the movie. So, it says something, I'm just like, this one, like, I'm not really a fan that this movie is up for so much stuff. That and Dune. I'm like, oh, you're killing me.
Dune is more the technical awards.
Yeah.
I'm literally, every time I keep going, oh, I gotta watch Dune. I really want to see Dune. And I never put it on because it's so long. I have to pay attention.
And I told you, I think that Jason had me watch the original one.
Oh God, no.
He loves
it's unwatchable. It's completely unwatchable.
He had me watch that, and then he kept hearing people complaining about the new one, and then he's like, "Oh no, I don't think I want to watch it." But the reason he made me watch it, I was like, did it really end with the people just meeting the sand people in the desert? And he's like, that's where they ended it? Because they're trying to make it into 2 movies.
Right.
And he's like, no, you need to watch this. And I'm like, but no, really, I don't.
It's the original Dune is literally unwatchable.
Well, it is.
I mean, I
This,
like Tom McLaughlin. You're like, oh, dude.
right. And I'm just like, you guys, this new one was 2.5 or almost 3 hours. And that's the first half of the story.
Yeah. They're making
That's
this
ridiculous. I will sit and watch Harry Potter movies all freaking day, no problem. But I do not want to watch this shit for 2 or 3 hours. And we didn't go anywhere in the story. And it's got up for all these awards. But usually when it comes to awards, it's not what the everyday person wants anyhow.
No, it really isn't.
So it's not. It's still the old guys club.
Yeah. So what else? So I think, did we cover supporting? Was there one we were missing?
We're talking actors or actresses?
Supporting
actresses. There was Jessie Buckley for The Lost Daughter for actress.
Oh yeah, I didn't see Lost. I don't either. Did you? So okay. Supporting actor, you have Kieran Hines.
Yep, in Belfast. Troy.
Out Jamie Dornan for Belfast.
What?
So it's like the older actors edged out the younger ones for Belfast.
Yeah.
And the predictive nominees were Katrina Balfe and Jamie Dornan. They got bumped down, didn't get the nomination, but Judy Dench and Kieran Hines did. I think that's kind of interesting.
Now, is that because of the name recognition, or is it because of the age and they want to give them one more try before the inevitable?
I mean, is that funny? When you look at a ballot, do you really think that when you look at your ballot?
I don't know. I'm like, okay, this
voter. I don't either. So it's really interesting people say that when they're like, oh, well, the Academy wanted to do this. Well, maybe there was no fucking plan.
No, maybe it's just like, I really like Judy Dench better than everyone else in the world. So Judy gets my nod. And everybody else is like, oh, I like Judy Dench too. So they all follow like little.
Or how many times does she work with these people?
Right.
Oh my God, I love Judy. I have to vote for Judy.
Right. I mean, we don't know, and we're not. I doubt that either of us will ever be in that inner circle and ever will know.
Hey, now I have a movie I'm making.
I know. But I mean, both of us work in the industry of some degree, but will we ever get to be on the Academy?
Yeah, I will.
Okay. And then you can tell us by then, because we'll be on episode 5,000.
Mm-hmm.
And you can tell us what is going on, right?
Yep.
All right.
So we have, who's the next one?
Troy Kotzer for Coda.
Okay, I'm supposed to have a screening of Coda soon. I want to go to the theaters and see it. I hear it's the best movie of the year.
That's what I've heard too, but I didn't get a screener for it, so I do not know.
I'm actually really excited to see it. So yeah, I'm actually really excited.
Yeah, that one I've heard nothing but good things about. And it's amazing that you're getting that in the best supporting actors. But when it came to best movie, was it even on the list? Best picture? Oh, it was second. Belfast, Coda. Granted, they came out in alphabetical order. So yeah, it's pretty high on the list. But yeah, I was looking
I'm excited to see him. I'm excited to see the movie. And so I'm hoping we have a screening coming up actually, because they're in London right now doing some screenings for BAFTA. Yeah. And then I'm hoping they'll come back here to do more Q&As, because I'm really excited to see that.
That one should be interesting. Then you have Jesse Plemons for Power of the Dog.
Which was nice that he and Kirsten got maybe the 4,
Right. Good for them. J.K. Simmons in Being the Ricardos.
Which I thought he was, J.K. Simmons is great.
Yeah.
Even the Allstate commercials. He's great in those. But, from watching him work, like from Oz, oh my God, he scared the crap out of me.
Right.
Whiplash, Juno, boom, 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 boom. He's so consistently good. I'm glad he got the nomination.
Right. Even if it's just supporting, but granted that his role was supporting.
His role was legit supporting.
Yeah. So that one actually makes sense. And then
so was the lady who played Ethel. She actually deserved it too. I thought she was really, really good. If they would have done more Q&As and it was a normal season, I think that they both might have had a shot.
Right.
But it is what it is. It was great.
In that movie, it's not the screen version, but that movie shows what their actual dynamic was between those two actors.
And I knew they hated each other.
They did, and most people didn't know that. And just watching it play out, you're like, okay, all right.
They were supposed to do a spinoff with Fred and Ethel.
Really?
And Vivian Vance was like, nope, I don't want to work with you again.
No, I can understand that. I mean,
he was really mad about it because he was like, we could be our own show.
Right.
She was like, no. And that was supposed to be after I Love Lucy, I think I did.
So, and then they went to the Lucy show after that. So,
right.
And then Cody Schmidt McPhee in The Power of the Dog.
Everybody's gonna use the front runner, so I don't know.
Well, I don't know. I'm not, I just don't feel that movie. But, again, my voting was done in December and I have no sway in any of this from this point on.
Mine is February. I got a few more weeks.
For SAG?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So you can watch, some of these movies, I'm sure, are on your list.
Yeah.
That was on Netflix. So,
now we're going to the best picture. Really fast. We'll just whip through these. As a precursor, this year they had to nominate 10.
Why?
Before it was a sliding scale, like they could nominate up to 10. This year they had to nominate 10. So we start with Belfast, right? Because it's alphabetical.
Yep, Belfast. Then
I hear really good things about it. I'm actually really excited to see it.
It was a pretty decent art film.
I enjoy those kind of little slice of life movies.
Yeah.
I like everyone in it. I love Judy Dench, I love. And I have 4 cast posters now signed by the cast.
You poor dear, poor tortured child.
I know.
Then Coda.
About that we really both want to see. We haven't seen that.
Probably should have seen that before voting, but I don't know that was on our list because most of us hadn't got a screener yet because we vote stinking early. Don't Look Up.
I did not like it at all.
I liked it, but
I think it was Adam McKay's pretentious bullshit again. And I'm a little over his style right now.
I think it's also that it's one of those polarizing movies. You either really liked it or you really didn't.
Yep.
And in our house, we are split.
Yeah.
So
liked it. I didn't.
Yeah. So, but I think it's also partially where you are in your state of mind right now, 2 years into a pandemic, watching that shit happen, so it's that kind of wag the dog style.
Yeah.
Satirized, whatever. But
he did this, and again, I felt like he was mining this. He mines the same territory. He did the same thing in Vice, and he the same style.
Yeah.
And he did the same style in the Leo movie, Wolf of Wall Street.
Yeah.
I'm kind of over it now.
Right. So if you I don't know that I've seen too many of his other ones. So going in, I really didn't know what I was going in for. And I enjoyed it. It's dark humor.
Right.
Again, it's polarizing. It's gotten reviews all over the board. So, but it has a hell of a cast.
Yeah.
So, then we have Drive My Car, which is a foreign one.
Did not see it. I hear it's like the underdog kind of thing.
Yeah, I haven't seen that one either. Then we have Dune.
Again, we discussed.
Yep. King Richard, which we've discussed. Licorice Pizza, which I did not see. I did not have any desire to see because I have issues with the concept.
Right. I actually met Paul Thomas Anderson last weekend. They had the Licorice Pizza pop up here. Quirky dude. And then going out for Spain today. But yeah, I'm actually excited to see it. I just got my screener in, so I'm excited to watch it.
You have to let us know next week how you think of it, because I've heard it's good, but then the premise is what keeps me away from it. So I'll just leave it at that. Nightmare Alley, which we have discussed previously.
Right. I think that was, hey, we have to nominate 10 movies.
Probably.
I think that's the only reason that got nominated.
Yeah. I mean,
as much as I love Guillermo del Toro.
And we have both discussed that movie is so visually interesting, but that's about where it ends.
Yeah, it kind of fell a lot flat.
Right.
But Guillermo, so
Yeah, so good for them if they get it, good for them. But Power of the Dog, which we've discussed.
Yeah.
Sherman, which
Sherman.
That's what it is. Sherman. No, maybe I'm missing the line. No, they didn't space that properly.
Oh.
So then the last one is West Side Story.
Oh, and
Yeah. Okay.
Well, the thing about West Side Story is the production value is so good.
Right. That's what I said. It's the old version, just on better film.
Yeah.
They did. It is visually beautiful, but so I did take, after the nominations all came out, I did make a list. There's an article on my site, week99er.com, that you can go and click where you can watch all of these movies if you want to watch them before the Academy Awards.
Wow, that's really handy. Maybe
so if they're available, there are some like Drive My Car, Licorice Pizza, West Side Story, and I didn't do like the shorts because some of those aren't available anywhere. But you can go through if it's not in theaters, and there's a link where you can rent or you can stream it online right now.
All right.
So,
well, it's good to know.
Yeah.
Thank you for that information.
That took a whole.
Very friendly.
I try to be nice and useful and, write articles that might actually help somebody, because I honestly, before I started doing this, like the list would come out and then granted this 5, 10, 15 years ago,
right?
You couldn't even rent most of these in
Right.
time to watch it. And now 90% of them are available for, you can stream them right now. And Belfast actually, I think, dropped today. While we're like the same day we're recording, so Friday, you can actually rent it. I got an email this morning. So, there are ways that you can watch 90% of these movies and decide if you like them or not before they vote.
Right.
So it's a nice kind of perk of technology and streaming, and, us still being at home.
That is one fun thing. I also want to mention that I just got noticed today that Heavy Metal, I don't know if you remember this movie. It's an animated film back 100 years ago. It's so interesting visually, and they remastered it, and it's coming out on Blu-ray 4K.
Nice.
So for fans of that, it's a cult classic. So I was actually really excited to see that. So definitely
got that one. I do know coming in the next couple weeks, House of Gucci and Nightmare Alley are coming to DVD and Blu-ray and all of that. I've got that. I've got the Super Bowl spots will be on my site by Monday. If they're not already there, I've got pre-game spots up now.
I like it.
One special announcement though. Did you see that Hulu is bringing Futurama back next year?
I didn't see that. And I also saw that Hulu Love Victor is going to be this final season.
Yes, it is its last season.
Sad, because I think there could have been a couple more seasons.
Yeah, but at the same time, if it's high school aged, unless they're going to delve into college, you kind of got a limited frame.
Yeah.
I know it needs more, but
I feel like it needs a little more than the 8 episodes they have. So I don't know.
Yeah.
And that's kind of neat.
Yeah, that one, maybe you should get on the list with Hulu because you could watch it early, because I will. So
maybe I should. I actually really think that was really well done. I was kind of surprised. That show I really enjoyed. I thought the cast was really good, and they did a good job. It was a fun show. So
yeah.
So
yeah, that's our.
Well, thank you for joining us, New Zealand, for this edition of UnpaidMovieCritics.com. I am Mike from MikeTheFanboy.com, and this is the illustrious Miss Becky Fixel, who gets all the swag from Week99er.com.
Which we'll discuss that shortly. Off recording.
And so we thank you for joining us, and we'll see you next week.
All right. See you later, guys. Bye.